Alright, hello everybody, we are back with some more Hades 2 Unseen Update content. It is finally happening. Mr. Hades himself, Haelian, is going to be joining us for a video today. We're going to be doing a duo boons tier list. First, I'm going to individually rank each of the duo boons on the tier list and explain my thought process behind it. And then we're going to pull Haelian into the call, and he's going to ask us some questions about some more of our controversial takes when it comes to the duo boons. Without further ado, we're starting off with Thermal Dynamics. It's got its very own tier in my opinion. Thermal D, baby. Scorch saw a gigantic buff with the Unseen update. Therefore, the duo boon that on a Blitz pop applies Scorch also got a huge buff. At high fear, in my opinion, this duo boon is an absolute monster. You may have noticed me using it on quite a few of my 62 fear clears, and the reason is pretty simple. You apply Blitz, an amazing status condition that helps you get to origination and does a ton of flat damage. You pop the Blitz. Hey, guess what? Now your Blitz also has Scorch on top of it, and it's a lot of Scorch. It's something like 160. If I'm not mistaken. It is just an absurd duo boon, and I think a lot of people desperately underrate it, and that stops today. Now we're going to go down the list in order. I just wanted to get that one straight out of the way, and I even prepped its own tier. Arterial Spray. For now, I'm putting this in D tier. It looks really cool, I will admit. However, just a 25% chance to proc, a little bit more if you success rate, I believe, is not enough, and the extra damage you get from waves for having to put an Ares core in your pool is not exactly great. I think if the chance was higher, it'd be a very strong one. There's not many builds that really use it in speedruns to go faster, outside of like Pan. And then it doesn't do anything on high fear. And it's not even that fun, because it's only 25% chance to get a red wave. I would rather see it be 100% chance for the waves, and then a little less damage, personally. Next up we have Beach Ball. I will say I underrate this duo boon a lot. It is pretty darn strong, and it is a lot of fun. Initially we're going A tier. It's solid. It's just on your sprint. You can throw it into enemies. Incredible for Fresh File. Good extra damage pickup if you just happen to have Poseidon and Apollo in the pool. Nothing too crazy, but just from a fun standpoint, I'd throw it in A. Brave Face. This did get nerfed down to 30% from 50, and it does require magic regen, because of course you're only getting the damage resistance when you have the magic to consume. But it is strong if you can set it up well. I think initially I'll put it in B tier. There has been situations where I've just ignored it completely and it would have given me 30% damage resistance. If you can get it online and sustain it, I would say it's strong. But just getting to that point, not great. Hera and Hef in the pool, not a hard accomplishment, two very strong gods there. Burning Desire. This one's going S for me. I think this is a pretty easy one. You go Glamour Gain and any Scorch effect, and you have an incredible Scorch engine that will never tick down. With the Scorch buffs we saw in Unseen, this duo boon also just got so much better. I love it so much. Weakness, underrated effect. Everything deals less damage to you. Scorch, incredible DPS. You put two of them together, you get even better DPS. Why not? It also guarantees a perfect origination between the Scorch and Weakness combo. Usually you see Glamour Gain and then Smolder Ring, and it's completely its own cast damage engine, or you can just have like Flame Strike or Flame Flourish, does the same thing. 10 out of 10. I love the Scorch duos, if you can't tell. Okay, now here, I think I'm making my own tier for these. No, we're not actually. The Hef duos are interesting, right? Because anytime you do a blast build, you kind of desperately need them, so they're all almost required to really see the top end damage of a blast build. but I guess we can just rank them based on other duos for how much impact they have on a blast build. When it comes to chain reaction, it's doubling your blast damage as long as you're hitting it within your timing windows. And if you get the cooldowns real low, as you should be shooting for in a blast build, it's probably the best duo, because it is quite literally an entire extra second blast that can have Furnace Blast on it, Grand Caldera, all the other duos. If you get a chain reaction, you also get a Love Handles, you also get a Rude Awakening, etc, etc, etc. So in terms of blast duos, I would say chain reaction is probably the strongest one. Cherished Heirloom. Another crazy underrated duo boon. Cherished Heirloom to White Antler will single-handedly win you runs at high fear, because 50% crit chance is the most absurd thing you could ever put on a build. And same thing for speedruns. You get this set up with White Antler, everything dies immediately. On top of that, in terms of fun, there's quite a few keepsakes that you can buff up and have a good bit of extra fun with. So I'm gonna go S. Right now I am comparing it to the field we have on the board, so things are likely to shift. Next up, Coffin Nail. I'm gonna be honest, anything with Ares just upsets me. I loved Ares when he came out. Really started to fall flat over time, and then they really picked apart his whole kit. Got rid of single elimination, gave it to Hestia, dropped the Grievous Blows scaling. Even we got the Plasma cap rate recently, which was strange. And then all his falling sword effects, although they look beautiful, really just don't do enough and have no status. And the wound status that he has isn't even that great, because it's just once every 3 seconds for flat damage. If you're gonna run any sort of sword effect, Cutting Edge and Coffin Nail are almost required to make them worth it. But having to invest into 2 specific gods for 2 specific duo boons just feels horrible. So I'm going to drop the double D here. Cutting Edge and Coffin Nail after that rant on Ares. Please help my boy. Please give him something. He needs it so bad. Next we have Ecstatic Obsession. This duo boon really isn't bad, and I probably hate on it a little bit too much, but whenever I use this to charm an enemy, I always mistake their projectiles for actual enemy projectiles, so I kind of hate clicking it at all times. Therefore, on the personal voted Tierlist, it's going down. And I know I said I would rate these in terms of fun runs. We are generally going based off of strength, but honestly, I feel like the duos I've put in D aren't exactly all that fun. I've done a couple runs with the sword duos, and they are cool, but they get old quick. Anyways, 4th Degree. Now this is an Ares duo that I quite enjoy. Controlled Burn and Glowing Coal, having a ton of base power on top of them with this duo, and allowing your range cast to apply wounds is actually really cool. I'm putting this one up in A with Beach Ball. I enjoy this duo. Is it that strong? No. Is it that good for speedruns? No. Do I like 4th Degree runs? Absolutely. Freezer Burn. This just has to be an S tier duo. You get the Scorch, you stack it up, you pop a big number with your freeze. Absolute blast. Put it together with Burning Desire, it only gets stronger. The Scorch duos are incredible. Scorch and Blitz and freeze effects. 3 amazing effects, 3 very well done effects. 12 out of 10. More like those, please. Glorious Disaster. Not great. It's like kinda better than these, but not really. The channel time is just the most ridiculous thing. If I could get an Apollo and Zeus duo that simply did not cost extra, or honestly keep the cost, it's just more so the extra channel. If I drop my Omega cast and I get the Glorious Disaster buff, it's good. If I have to double channel my Omega cast for Glorious Disaster, it's horrendous. I can't put it above D. Golden Rule has been replaced with Ripple Effect, so I guess we'll do that one now. I actually quite enjoy this duo. It's the chance to have a second fine line, or Ocean Swell, and it is affected by success rate. I believe it's used, if you can get into it, on Moro speeds. It doesn't seem bad at High Fear with just Ocean Swell, realistically, if you have the magic capacity for it. And then it's really, really fun. This was a very cool change. Taking something boring like just a damage modifier duo boon, if you have like a ton of gold, which means you don't get to spend on anything actually cool and fun, and changing it to this kind of duo was awesome. I love it so much. Great change, pretty darn strong. It's near S, definitely A tier for me. Gonna slap Golden Rule to the end too, just to get that out of the way. Hailstorm. I think this is another A tier for me. Really strong. It allows whatever freeze effect you're using to also deal extra lightning damage. It's just really solid. Freeze is a super safe effect. It helps you get into Origination, and then you're just adding more damage on top of it. And when do you not want Zeus in a build anyways? Pretty easy to get into as well, which is something we will factor into these duos. Most of them are just 2 core boons, luckily. So it's not too hard, but there is a few that require some extra setup. Party Appetite. This duo boon kind of stinks. I won't lie. I think it's just another D tier. I'm putting so much in D, we haven't done any Cs. I might just delete the tier at this point. It's kind of either like a really strong duo, a moderately strong duo, an okay duo, or just a really bad duo is all we've seen. If you stack up a ton of HP, you get some damage. Yippee, I guess. Not the worst thing in the world, not something I would ever click or care about. It's kind of funny if you go for big max HP builds, I guess. But it's just a strange one to me. I don't get the idea behind it. Heinous Affront. This is an S tier. No doubt about it. It's wanted on speedrun builds. It's really good at High Fear if you can get it online. And it's incredibly fun. You can do some Divine Vengeance shenanigans, even Visceral Impact. Primarily, you're hunting for Light Smite with it. It is a 3-tier duo boon. You need a Zeus core, an Ares wound effect, and then a revenge effect. So hard to get into, but man, when you get into this duo, it's one of my favorite in the entire game. Definitely my favorite before the Ares nerf and before Thermal Dynamics got its buffs. But wow, I love me some Heinous Affront gaming. Anytime I can slap it in a build, I will. Hostile Environment's pretty cool. You Omega cast, it will follow you and deal extra damage. Not too hard to get into. A lot of fun, especially with more of the cast-oriented aspects we're getting now. I would probably put this in B. I could definitely see an argument for A. I just think Beach Ball, 4th Degree Ripple Effect, and Hailstorm are a little bit more fun than it. Although looking at 4th Degree now, I might drop this one down, and that seems more fitting. Because I would definitely put these 3 above it. I like this, I like this, I like this. Yeah, a solid B for Hostile Environment. Strong. Killer duo. Good. Can be a lot of fun. Omega casting. You do need Sword Ring or Meat Grinder, and I think that's what's holding it back from being better, is the fact that I need to get Ares for it. And that is a common theme around here. Incandescent Aura, I think this is another A tier. It did get changed and buffed with the Unseen update. Really strong now. Any enemy that gets Hitch Afflicted, you deal damage to based on your magic regen. You always want Hera, you always want Hestia, they're great for the most part. You set this up, it's a bunch of extra damage to Hitch Afflicted foes. Not too hard to get into either. Great duo if you can pick it up and you're playing a magic-oriented aspect that likes Hitch. Island Getaway. I still don't see the need for a C tier. I'm putting this one in B. It is really strong and there's a few really cool setups with it, but they require a lot of setup. Damage resistance, great. Aphrodite effects no longer requiring a nearby target, fantastic. Do this with Glamour Gain and Aphrodite Legendary. Incredibly fun run you can put together for yourself. Not gonna see play in High Fear 99% of the time, but hey, if you can get into it, go for it. Definitely not in speedruns. Pretty solid. Hard to set up the way you want it. Duo Boon plus Legendary. So I'll keep it in B for that exact reason. Killer Current. Now with Froth as Poseidon's status and Blitz from Zeus, 30% on the Blitz stuff from Froth Afflicted Foes, which you're going to want because it's a strong status, is solid. It's fun. I like Froth. I like Poseidon now. I like Killer Current. I have no issues with this. Definitely wouldn't put it up in S tier. I feel comfortable putting it in A tier. It's genuinely a really good Zeus duo that I like to click. Yeah. King's Flippin' Ransom. It's gotta be S. It's legendary. It's used in speedruns. If you can rip it at high fear, you should. In most situations. It's so fun. We've done countless runs around King's Ransom. I won't stop doing King's Ransom runs. Great duo. Love the concept, love the execution. 10 out of 10. Yes, we nerfed Zeus scaling, which was tragic, but probably had to happen realistically. It was a bit too strong. Still incredibly strong. Awesome duo. Love handles. I think it's a B. It's solid. I don't know if this one's affected by Sunny disposition. Someone let me know down in the comments below. In terms of blast build, it's a great duo to pick up in a blast build. Looking at all of the blast build duos, I think it's the last one I would like to see. Seismic Servo cooldown, Cryo Pounder damage, Root Awakening damage. Yeah, probably. Somewhat happy with the B rank. Could be convinced that it's A for sure. I'm also going to slot Seismic Hammer back with Golden Rule. Of course, that was replaced by Seismic Servo as well. Master Conductor. If you can't tell, I like Zeus. This is S for me. It's actually really strong if you can get it online. You need a Hef Core and Static Shock. Static Shock's incredible. Hef Cores really aren't bad these days. And then your Chain Lightning just goes absolutely ballistic. It sounds amazing. It does a ton of damage. Great duo boom. Big fan. Definitely above everything else I put in A, I would say. Yippee Master Conductor. Okay, we've added one more custom tier. It's specifically for natural selection. Aptly named Revert Now. Because please revert this change. Natural selection used to be a really fun duo boom. You could get it online early, and then the reward was getting a ton of extra boons throughout a run. Super fun. We did some really cool videos around it. What a blast they were. Now it gives you palm levels randomly spread out across your core boons after getting like a 3-tier duo boon, and it is not anywhere near enough palm levels to warrant it. You could 5x this duo and it still probably wouldn't feel that great. I am so disappointed with this duo change, and I have no idea what we were thinking with this one. It deserves its own special tier. I am genuinely so upset about this, you don't understand. I love this duo, and now I just don't even think about it as a duo boon. To me, Demeter and Poseidon don't have a duo. This isn't real. Okay, next up, Open Heart. I believe it's called Carnal Pleasure now. For me, this is D tier. You have a 25% chance of generating a Heartthrob when picking up a Blood Drop. It used to be a 100% chance. They nerfed the ever-living heck out of it. I didn't think it was that broken to begin with. You have to play Blood Drop effects just to get into it, and even then you only have 25% chance. What are we doing? No one wants to play Blood Drops. And my reward for setting up a duo boon is 25% chance of a Heartthrob? I guess if you get all the Blood Drop effects, it's kinda good, but it just feels so underwhelming. Even at 100%, it was fun. It was strong. It was good. It was solid. But it wasn't good. Now it's definitely not good. Queen's Ransom, I'm going to drop in A tier. This is no King's Ransom. There's a lot less fun builds you can make, but it's still really strong. You're doing a Hera-oriented build. Fine Lines, the attack, and Hereditary Bane are 3 really cool Queen's Ransom runs you can kind of curate around. So for that, I'll give it A tier. It's another really fun concept. Hera just doesn't have as many fun boons you can build things around like Zeus does. Romantic Spark. For me, this is B tier. It's not that good. In theory, it is. It's been nerfed damage-wise. Also, most times, you're just going to pop the Blitz effect if your build is good before you actually get the Romantic Spark proc. Very situationally, it's pretty strong, like on Supe, for example. But overall, it's not a duo I really get excited to see. Nor is it that crazy for speedruns most times. Yes, there's edge cases. And on high fear, I'm not clicking it 99% of the time. Unless there's really no other option. It exists. It sometimes does a good thing. Most times, you're not really fishing for it. In concept, this duo is really cool. In practice, not so much. Room temperature was another one that was changed for Cryo Pounder, so we'll shoot that to the back of the list. And then Rude Awakening. A solid Hef Blast duo. We'll throw it in A tier, I think. 300 flat on a blast effect's pretty good. Whenever you're applying Daze, Daze is another very strong effect. Easy to grab off Apollo Sprint. Can't even do it off Apollo Cast. That also got recently buffed. Easy to get into, good to use. Strong status effect with it. In Daze, you clear the Daze, you deal extra damage. Then you can just reapply it right away. Scalding Vapor. I believe this was nerfed. However, from what I understand, the nerf didn't actually take place. So at the moment, it still feels really strong. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, but whenever I pick this thing up, it feels like it's doing so much extra damage. It used to have terrible visual clutter, and they removed that, which is nice. But I don't know. I haven't really sat down and looked at the damage difference with and without. I'd say B when it's actually fixed. A while it's still really strong and bugged, essentially. So I'll put it in B. Sunny Dispo is good. It's hard to set up, though. I'd give it a solid B. Heartthrobs are decently strong when you're using magic, and then tripling the output is really good, I will say. The caveat is you need to use magic, get Heartthrobs from Aphrodite, get an Apollo core, then get the duo, which is pretty specific and a lot to ask. But when you do get all that along, and if you are pumping out magic, really good duo, really fun duo. Used to be the king of duo boons. Used to be the king of speedruns as well. That was an interesting time. It has been cut down since then, and deservedly so, but still can be really fun and strong under the right circumstances. Sun Worshipper has kind of surprised me lately. I think I'm going another B tier here for now. When you get this thing, it's easy to tell it's your ally, unlike the charmed enemy. And it actually does a ton of damage. I believe you can also hitch it, and then use that to deal extra hitch damage to bosses if they're the only enemy in the room, which is pretty cool. Correct me if I'm wrong on that too. It was a thing at one point, I don't know if they fixed it. Some of these duos I barely ever touch or use or see. But it's solid. Tropical Cyclone. I like the ladder progression we have going on here between S, A, and B. But I have to break it. I think this is a B for me. With air quality, it's pretty juiced. It's a fun duo. You get the gale effects, you get extra gales. They look like sandstorms almost. It's not that strong though. And you need gale effects to set it up. And then Apollo. If you really wanted to pop Frigid Rush and Arctic Gale. I believe in Apollo core. It's okay. Nothing special. That's what the B tier is for. They exist, they do things. They don't need reworks. They're probably fine to have in the video game. They definitely don't belong down with the riffraff. But they also don't believe, or belong, up with some of the stronger residents we have here in the tier list. Universal Donor, I mean, you can guess where this is going. It's an Ares duo. It's based around blood drops. It gives you 20% move and strike speed heading into the room once you collect it. It's not great. It's not worth playing. It's not worth the setup. It's not good anywhere. It's not even that fun. It's just an epic Nimble Limbs. Get it out, please. Help Ares, man. Let's just help Ares. He's on life support. He's drowning. Throw him a life raft. Warm Breeze is actually pretty good, I will say. You just heal on dodge. So, something tries to hit you. Joke's on you, I've dodged it. And now I've been healed. If you're not playing max scars, I would say it's pretty darn strong. If you are playing max scars, I would say it doesn't do anything. It's a defensive-oriented boon, you're not going to see it in speedruns. But general runs, it's pretty good. You want Apollo, he's pretty strong. You want Hestia, she's pretty strong. You got Warm Breeze, really good defense. you're struggling, you probably win a lot more runs if you click this duo. I don't know. Nothing wrong with it, really. It's just healing based, so it suffers on high fear. Seismic Servo. Getting extra blast cooldown is just really good. No two ways about it. If your cooldowns are low, getting more cooldowns great. If your cooldowns are high, getting more cooldowns great. You want Poseidon in a blast build now. That's fun. Blast duos are great. I really like the Hef rework. Big fan. Last, but certainly not least, Cryo Pounder. As friend of the channel Foolish likes to say, who up pounding their cryo? It's a good duo. You get extra % blast damage on a frozen enemy. Stack it with everything else, you do big blast. It makes me happy. I like the blast duos. Well, that's gonna do it from just little old me. Time to hear what Haelian thinks about our tier list today.
Hey, Boded.
Hello.
I'm happy to be here. I got questions about your tier list. Okay. So we kind of already talked about thermal dynamics, but I guess just a recap for anyone that's just tuning in for your video. So your thought process here is that you need 999 Scorch on all enemies all the time or something with thermal dynamics?
Ideally, but at the same time, it's just less about that and more about the fact that I don't have to worry about my Scorch application anymore. As long as I'm popping my Blitz, I know the Scorch is going to be there. And that's what matters the most.
Okay, what if I don't get Freezer Burn? I'm actually just writing this down for my own run for later.
You
What
don't-
if I don't get Freezer Burn?
I just don't think you need Freezer Burn. You have your Scorch effect, you have your Blitz effect. Your goal is just to pop that Blitz effect. It's going to apply most to your Scorch. Your other Scorch effect doesn't even have to be like your other main source of damage. You can throw on something else. You have a cast, attack, and special just to have a Scorch, even if you just want to get thermal dynamics, and that can be your only real Scorch source.
Lovely.
That engine there, and then if you just want to throw Pyro on top of it so the Scorch ticks down faster, I mean, as long as you're doing like good damage rotations and focusing on popping Blitz, you have a ton of extra Scorch, even if it's not always applied 100% of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of Freezer Burn, I actually got like, so we have someone looked into the code for us and determined that Freezer Burn, it was probably Hippo or something.
Right.
Freezer Burn has like a cooldown for when you can apply Scorch again after it triggers, right?
Yes.
So do you remember how long that is? Because I don't remember.
No, but it's long.
Couple seconds?
Because you get the pop, and then you're just sitting there with nothing for a while.
It feels like a long time,
It
right?
does.
Even though it doesn't sound like a long time on paper. Do you still think like Freezer Burn's like always going to be worth it though for like a big Scorch build then?
I think so. Especially in room clear, because if you get like 2 or 3 hits of Scorch, and then you just rip a Freezer Burn on an enemy that's going to die, it's just going to die. Because you're still just doubling that Scorch, right? Like if you have a... Ideally, Rarity, I think, is very strong with whatever you're trying to apply Scorch with.
Yeah.
And then you just Freezer Burn. In bossing, I do believe most times, especially if you're being calculated with it at their health gates or combo breakers and whatnot, you're probably going to have a DPS up, but it's also just super good in room clear because you do like 2 or 3 hits of Scorch on a big enemy, hit them with the freeze effect, huge damage, you know they're gone. And then you don't have to worry about that cooldown because they don't exist anymore.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it always feels
That just
good.
makes sense when you're just trying to go quick through it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a ton of damage. I don't really do numbers on a lot of stuff. I'm just more of a, like, feels, and whenever I pick up Freezer Burn, there's never a time where I'm, like, mad I have it.
Good vibes with Freezer Burn, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha. I'm going to jump down to, like, some of these, because I do see, actually, quite a bit of similarities in our tier list, actually.
Yeah, I would say so. There's logic there.
I'm going to jump down to some questions about some of like the defensive ones that we didn't really get to talk about much, like Brave Face and Warm Breeze. And like, I guess I put Brave Face kind of low, but truth be told, like I take it so infrequently, I'm not even certain how I feel about it. So I'm curious, like if you've had some good use cases for it or something.
There is, I think use cases is a great word because it's not a duo boon you can always have, right?
Right.
But when you can use it well, when you have that magic capacity, it is, at the end of the day, just 30% damage resistance.
I see.
Which is fantastic. And if you stack that with weakness, it kind of gets ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're just, like, so much damage resistance. I can't die now. As long as I keep my magic up, we're good to go. And that was the idea with putting it in B. Because when you can utilize it properly, I think it's really strong. And why it actually got nerfed It's just you can't always get it online. And you always do kind of want Hera and Hef. Hef's great safety and fun blasts. Hera, hitch effect is just ridiculous. Bridal Glow, Extended Fam, she has some like good solid damage stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't use it much either.
Yeah.
But when I don't click it, I usually get yelled at.
If it's not, they just want all the green boons, obviously.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So Warm Breeze, that one's a bit tougher, I'll admit. I think the wiki was wrong about it, by the way. If you were using the wiki, I don't know if you were, but it only said like 3 health, but it's like 10, I'm pretty sure.
It is 10 now, yeah.
Yeah.
I would have put Warm Breeze higher, but obviously it's a healing duo, so it gets affected by scars.
Okay, wait a minute. I wasn't certain if it was or not.
Yeah, it's affected by scars. I would be clicking that thing all day, every day otherwise. This would be in its own tier, I think. Because Daze is... You always want Apollo Sprint. It's movement speed, which you desperately want. And then it's the Daze effect, which is just dodge chance. And it's origination. It's the best sprint in the game. It's his claim to fame. And then you can play Hestia, which you also want now, because Scorch is amazing. And then if I just happen to get a dodge, not only am I dodging, but I'm healing. I mean, that just sounds amazing. I'd take it all day.
Interesting. Okay.
I'd stack dodge chance and just run Warm Breeze.
That does make a lot more sense to me now. Okay, gotcha. I wasn't aware of the scars thing, or rather, I haven't seen it really pop up.
Yeah, it is affected. To be fair to you too, I mean, scars is all over the place these days.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, they're clearly like every single patch we've gotten like a little bit of updates on like where scars works and doesn't, and it seems like they're trying to cross out the exceptions to some degree, but it's still
they're getting there.
Weird.
And there's also just the fact that hey, this isn't supposed to work and it is, or hey, no, we do want this to work. It's an exception, and I'm sure they'll get there someday.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm going down to C tier now. I can't help but notice you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ares duo boons down there. But maybe we don't need to hear you rant about Ares any further at the moment.
I did in my video already. Don't worry.
I mean, yeah, I definitely get every single one. Yeah, especially like I'm pretty disappointed in like the Heartthrob builds with like open heart and everything.
It
like
was
this
cool.
should be fun, but yeah.
Yeah, even that one, it was like, I don't want to play Blood Drops, but like, Open Heart Carnal Pleasure was kind of cool. And then they were like, what if it's only 25% chance now? It's like, all right, I guess. Thanks. It just got worse.
And it got destroyed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I didn't feel as strongly about natural selection as you did, clearly. I kind of just felt like it's kind of like boring, maybe, and kind of hard to get. But in terms of parallel, I was like, I guess that's okay. I was very middle of the road with it, but I'm welcoming your rant back about it real quick.
I'm so mad about this duo. It was cool. You would set it up on purpose intentionally early, and then you just snowball your run. I have runs where I've gotten like 3 legendaries off of it, almost 4 legendaries, but I'm pretty sure I made like a personal mistake in not getting the 4th, and everyone yelled at me. It was really cool, and you would feel it. As soon as you hit it, you would just snowball with boon after boon after boon after boon. And it's the first time I ever discovered that there was multiple pages for boons. It was just like natural selection runs with just like a jacked up amount of boons. And then they just flipped it to this like ridiculous duo that does nothing.
Yeah.
And
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of didn't like the previous version myself. I always poo-pooed it. I know.
I get it. No, I get it because it's very intentional if you're doing like a natural selection run. And it wasn't good, but it was fun for me. And it was something I just enjoyed doing. Because you would start nat select, and then you would just have this open-ended, really high roll, ton of extra boons run that could go in a good few many directions. I didn't even fully explore it yet, and they took it from me. And that's why it's in its own tier. Because I wanted to do more.
Yeah, I agree. Like it felt like I didn't really get to play with it enough. But I don't know, maybe it's my own fault. It was there for a while, I'll admit.
It was there for a while, and it was cool.
When I read the change for natural selection, I was kind of excited, like, oh, I never really used that duo anyway, so this looks kind of cool. But then when in practice, just like, oh yeah, this kind of just doesn't do much.
Yeah, I will say the new style they're going for makes sense. And if it could be one of those duos, kind of in the same line of King's Ransom, where you can buy, sell, stack up a ton of palm levels. Super fun, super cool. The concept's there to a degree. I think it needs buffs, and I think it needs a bit of a tweaking in terms of execution. But I do understand what they're going for now, and it could be awesome, which also angers me because I also read the patch note and went, wow, that's really cool. They took away one of my favorite duos to give me a new favorite duo, and then I tried to use it and was very upset.
Well, it's too bad. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some changes for this stuff going into 1.0 easily, right?
Yeah, definitely. Or even after
Yeah.
that. I believe in
Yeah.
Hades 1 they did some stuff after 1.0, if that's
They
not.
did very tiny things,
Okay.
they balanced, like, Chiron a lot after
Oh, okay.
1.0, and
Cool.
then they fixed, like they made it so, like, lightning strikes could crit because there was, like, kind of a that
Ah,
was, like, the biggest change after 1.0 weirdly, was them basically fixing a couple of bugs,
okay.
but
Yeah,
that was
I don't
about
really
it,
know the
which is
history.
yeah, which that was about it, which is actually, like, kinda sad because it definitely felt like there was plenty
More.
of balance that could have been approached, but,
Okay.
yeah, they were busy working on the next game, I guess.
That's fair. I do hope to see more after 1.0. I
Me too.
hope they continue on because I do think there's a lot more they can still do. And I also think there's just a lot more to balance and consider because we have two paths.
Agreed, yeah,
So,
and I think when it comes to not to, like, completely segue away from the dual thing, but I feel like with the Surface, it feels like there's still, like, a lot there are kind of 2 ways about it, like, should the Surface be the same difficulty as the Underworld? And I feel like
mm.
they haven't quite made up their minds almost on it, I'm not sure.
I feel like they want it to be harder. It's just a matter of like how much harder and what direction do they want to go in terms of difficulty.
Hmm,
Because a lot of the surface enemies for a while there were just monsters, and then you get to the
yep.
bosses and you'd get to relax a bit. But now we
Exactly, yeah,
have,
agreed. Yeah, now they've kind of flipped it a little bit.
yeah, which I do enjoy. I really like when the bosses are the actual gatekeepers of the run, right? That's the idea, is to get down to the next region, you have to beat this big scary boss. Where before rivals, a lot of the times you would have some really tough rooms, and then you would get to the bosses and go, okay, I'm here, we're good, everything's okay. Except we do kind of have
Agreed,
that with
except
Eris.
yeah. Now it's like if I get to Prometheus and Heracles, I'm just
Oh,
kind
you're
of like
terrified.
yeah, yeah, that's
I'm
like, "Oh,
terrified.
okay, here's the hurdle," basically.
I don't even play Frenzy 2 on Surface yet for fun runs.
Whoa.
No, I'm not doing Frenzy 2 Heroes when I have a cool run for my friends over on YouTube.
I
It's
know, right?
not
That's the way I
happening.
that's how I feel too,
They're
because then
gonna
half my
beat
runs
me
die if I
down.
try to do that.
Yup.
That's no good.
Mine do too, don't worry. I have lost many a fun run to Frenzy 2 Heracles spinning.
I'm I'm air high-fiving you as we speak.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, that is Surface is terrible. There is some shenanigans that happens on Frenzy 2 in the Typhon fight too, if you have not seen.
Oh, yeah, well, I've definitely done, like, Frenzy 2, like I think I went through, like, 2 weeks of just like, "Well, if Boded and other people are doing it, I'm gonna have to just tough out Frenzy 2 as well,"
No.
and I would lose, like, 50% of my runs,
Yeah.
or something like that, and then eventually I was just like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, Boded, thank you so much for having me. I'd love to do more with you, later on, and if the people have some ideas for what you and I could party down with together, I'm definitely open to hearing it.
Yeah, I thank you for coming along to the channel. I'm definitely down to do more. This was a lot of fun.
Okay, cool.
I appreciate it very much.
Do you have a good, like, cosplay available? Because I have some ideas,
Cosplay. I haven't even done a face reveal.
Well, then we'll have to
Uh-huh.
start some kind of incentive goal. You just did
Oh
10K
jeez.
for 67 fear, so
Yeah,
100K for a face reveal sounds
we're
about
still
right to
we're
me.
still hurting from that one. I'm still reeling from that call I made.
Alright, thank you so much for having me, Boded.
Thank you for being on the channel. All right, that is going to do it for today. Our duos tier list with a few questions from Mr. Hades himself, Haelian. Want to give a huge shout out to Haelian for coming over on the channel and doing a video with me. A long awaited, long requested collab. Hopefully many more to come. I had such a good time, such a great conversation. Was a ton of fun. Please give him a huge thank you. Head over to his channel. Subscribe if you aren't already. Like his tier list video. Comment on his tier list video. Tell him about it, sent ya. And that is about that. If you enjoyed my video, please do like the video down below. It greatly helps. And if you want to keep up with more of my Hades 2 Unseen update content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye. And a special thank you to my members for supporting the channel. Zuko's Honor, Horia Dragomir, Avocado Anna, Ethan Platt, Mice Jr., Shag, Daddy, Franzi, Vetatoid, Tummy Aches, Sylph, Rob Wallace, Katarina V, Seneca, Ticolo, Hideki 504, and Andy Fu.